You're going to need your black, your gold, and your Persian black for this part, just like we did for the belly. And we're just going to take 3 black, go down, take 3 gold, go down, and then take 2 black, go diagonal, 2 black again, the rest of this is 2. Then we're still doing the pattern, and we're just gonna keep alternating colors. You're going to go all the way down on this side, and then you're going to come over on this side, and we're going to go diagonal here in a minute. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to go diagonal here. So instead of going straight down, we're going to go diagonal so that it does still end up with 3 pegs, because we do still have to attach her body that we just did. And we are just continuing the pattern. And then we're going to be putting on a crossbands. So you're going to take your gold and go to there, double loop 1, and put it there. On these pegs where it's only 2 instead of 3, you're going to double loop bands. So then when you're done, you're just going to double loop the 2, and you're just going to double loop 1 band and stretch it across the 2, and then you're going to get 2 bands and stretch it across right there. So now we are going to attach Bumblebee the same way we attached the head. So we are going to, we're done with the black for this part and the gold, so you can move those off to the side if you want, or actually we need 2 black. So then you're going to take the butt and attach the loops to the pegs, and then you're going to lift up the top 2 loops just like we did for the head, and we're going to put in a crossband there, or 2 crossbands, and then we're going to attach the loops back on, and then you can loom up the side to here, and we need to make more spikes, so we're going to take our Persian Black and we're going to make more. We're going to make a total of, we're going to make a total of 4 of the way that we've been doing it for this part. So you can make them as we go, or you can make them all at once. I'm going to make mine all at once. So you're just going to make 4 of these. And once you've finished your final one, or if you're just gonna go and make them as we go along, we're just going to attach the first one as we loom up here. And then we're gonna skip the gold, and we're gonna take another, and we're going to wrap it around this peg right here. And then we're going to loom up the middle, and then we're going to loom up the sides. And then you can lift this one up if you want, or you can leave it on the peg. I'm going to lift it up. So then this next part is a little bit complicated. You're just going to go down, and you're going to bring up the black. Then you're going to put one of these spikes on your hook, and you're going to go in, grab the gold, and go in the other side and grab the gold. So then you have both loops of the gold on your hook, and then you're going to pull the spike on, and then you're going to make sure that you have the correct one on the correct peg. And then you're going to loom up the black, and then you're going to go through the loops of the spike, or if you still have it on your hook, or if you're making them right now. And then you're just going to do the same thing. You're going to go in here, grab the loops, go in here, grab the loops, and then slide on the spike onto both of the spots that you have, onto both of the loops, I mean. And then you're going to loom up the gold, and you can pull up the bottom here if you want, but I'm just going to leave it on for right now. Then you're going to make another spike, but this one is just going to be a cap band, a double loop, and then 3 bands, and you're going to make 2 of those. So it is just like these spikes, except for it's 1 double loop less. Then you're going to dig down again, grab this loop, and then you're going to come over to the other side, grab the other loop, and then you're going to pull the spike onto both sides, and then you're going to wrap it around each peg, and then you're going to loom up the black, then you're going to go down, grab the gold, and loom up the black. So now you can take it off the loom. And then you're going to go through, and you want to make sure that you went on like upside down so that the spikes are facing up. So now let's finish up the tail, so you don't need your loom anymore. Okay, so now we're going to finish up Bumblebee's tail. So we're going to make a spike on the hook. So you want to make sure that the spikes are facing upward like this, so that they're upward, and when you make a spike on your hook, it's not going to be on the bottom side, it's going to be where the other spikes are. So you should have made 2 of the smaller spikes, so now we're going to make an even smaller spike, which is going to be a cap band, a double loop, and another double loop. And then we're going to take 3 black, and we're going to pull the cap band in 2 double loops on and the tail. So it should look like that. Then you're going to reclaim it like that. And then you're going to take 3 gold and pull that on to 3 gold. And then we're going to make another one of these spikes that we just made, which is a cap band, a double loop, and another double loop. And then take 3 black and reclaim. Then take 3 black again and pull that on. So now we're going to make even smaller spikes, which is just going to be a cap band and a double loop. So cap band, 1 double loop. That's how small we're getting. So then you're going to take 3 gold, like we've been doing, pull everything on, take 3 black, pull everything on, and then we're going to make our final spike, which is, actually we're not going to make any more spikes. That was our final spike. So now we're just going to make, so we're going to take 3 more black, pull it on, 3 more gold, pull it on, and now we're going to get into making her stinger. So we're going to take our black gold and we're going to double loop and pull the gold on, reclaim, so then it looks like a little bit weird, but then we're going to double loop, pull it on again, and it should be getting to the point where it does kind of look a bit like a stinger, where it gets thick and then thin really fast. So 4 double loops, we're going to do 7 double loops. And once you've done 7 double loops, you can take 1 black gold, not double loop it, pull everything on, so that looks like that, and then slip knot it. So then you're going to take the back one, pull it over in case you don't know what slip knotting is, and pull it tight as you can. So there is Bumblebee's top and her tail. So you should have attached both sets of wings, her legs, and now she has a tail. And if you need help wiring her, you can check out Courtney Nicole's How to Wire Your Dragon video on her YouTube channel. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good video, and it shows you how you can wire your dragon so that it looks proper and nice. Or if you don't want to wire Bumblebee, you can just skip ahead to the next video. So I'm gonna go wire her, and I will see you guys shortly. Alright, so now that we wired Bumblebee, we are going to make her stomach. So you're going to take your gold and you're going to come over to the 3 pegs on this side, and you're going to go down the 5th peg all the way down to the bottom. And then once you've gone all the way down with 2 bands of gold, you're going to take 2 and you're going to go diagonal, and then you're going to go down 10 times, and you're going to just go down until you get to here, and then you're going to go diagonal. So you're just taking 2 bands and you're going all the way down, and then when you get down here, you're going to go diagonally, and then you're going to come back up, and you're going to basically mirror that on the top or on the other side. And once you've done that, we are going to put our, I call it sewing bands on, and this just helps attach, well, this attaches the belly to the body. So this is the main, like the main body part right here. So we're gonna make the head over on these 3 pegs that you left open. So you're gonna take 2 and you're gonna go down 5 times with gold, and then once you've done that, we are going to take 2 gold and we're going to stretch it across like that. Skip 2, stretch it across like that. And then skip here and here, and you're going to go right there with gold. 1 band on each of these pegs. 1 band on each of these pegs. 1 band here. 1 band here. And you can do this all gold. It looks like this if you do it all gold. Or you can do it all black. I'm going to do the alternating color like we did for the stripes up here. So, I mean, you can do it however you want. I'm just showing you how you can do the pattern if you want to do that. And you should have 1 band on these individual pegs. Only reason there's 2 here is because there's going to be 1 on each side like that. And because it's 1, you have to have more, like, since it's only 1 line, you have to have 2 rubber bands there. Otherwise, it wouldn't sew up correctly. And then you're just going to put your crossbands around here of 2 gold. And you're just going to stretch it across. You want to make sure that the sewing bands are underneath the across bands. And you just want to make sure that they're underneath and not over them on accident. Just to, dang it, 1 came off. And you just want to try your best to keep them on the loom as well. You need to double check after you put the crossbands on that all of your sewing bands are on the loom so that you don't end up missing one later on. And now we're going to take our black and we're going to double loop it for this part. So you're going to take 1, double loop it, and you're going to go down. You're going to go down 5 times with the double looped bands. And you're just going down like so. And then you're going to take 1, go diagonally. This part is double looped, so you want to make sure that you have double looped bands. Not 2 bands or 1. We're double looping this whole part. And then you're going to mirror that on the other side. So go diagonal up top, double loop 1, go down, another 1. And then go in. So now we're going to put our sewing bands on this part. So you're going to take 2, black, go there, or gold, whatever you're doing. And then you're going to take 1 and you're going to double loop it around that peg. And then you're going to take 1 and double loop it around that peg. Then you're going to take another black, double loop it, stretch it across those 3 pegs, making sure that the double loop bands are underneath. And then you're going to just do double loops on this across bands. So now we're going to make the tip, which is going to be just like what we did on the top of Bumblebee. It's going to be a cap band and 3 bands. So now we're going to be making the tip, which is what we did for Bumblebee's jaw as well. We're going to take 4 black, we're going to make a cap band, we're going to take 3 black, pull the cap band on, and then you're going to stretch it and wrap it around this peg down here. And now we can start looming. So you're gonna dig down, you're going to pull up whichever one is on top, then you're gonna loom up the side, and then when you get to here, you want to make sure that you don't grab the sewing band, that you only grab the double loop band that you're hooking. And then you can do the same thing on the other side. And then up the middle. Then loom up the gold. Alright, now we're going to pull it up, and you want to be gentle. Alright, so now that you've got it on your hook, you're going to take it and you're going to just wrap it around this peg. And then we're going to start looming because everything's on here that we need. So you want to make sure while you're looming the sides that bands don't end up going up like that. You want to make sure that they stay down like that. So then we're going to dig down, grab the first sides one, and we're just going to loom up, and if you want you can hold down the sewing bands, but I'm not going to because they should just stay down on their own, but if for whatever reason yours keep popping up, you can hold them like that. You want to make sure that you put them back down. And then we're just gonna loom up the other side. So you're just going to just keep looming, and I mean, yeah, you just want to make sure that the rubber bands don't end up going up, and you just want to make sure that the bands don't go up for whatever reason. And then once you get to the, shoot, I dropped a band. Then once you get to the middle, it's pretty easy. So now you can just loom straight up the middle. You don't have to worry about any bands coming up because there aren't any here. And then once you're done, you can just pull it up off the loom, and then you can just pull out the bands. So it should look a little bit messy right now with bands looking like they're everywhere. But now we are just going to take 2 gold, and you're going to pull everything onto those 2 gold bands that you have. And then, before you reclaim it on your hook, you're going to take 2 black or gold, whatever color you're using. You're going to take 2 black, and you can do it, you're going to put it in between like that. So now we're going to just go down 5 times with gold, 2 gold, and we're going to take 2 gold here, and then 2 gold there, and 2 black there, and 2 black there. So now we're going to attach the belly. So we're going to just wrap it around right there. And you can do it on your hook if you want, but this is how you do it on the loom. So then you're going to go down, grab the gold bands, go down, and just loom up. And there is a reason there's none here, is because we're going to slip knot it off. And then you're just going to pull it up like that. Stretch it out if you want. And I think you're going to take 2 black and tie it off. And you're going to tie it off with 2 black no matter what. So if you're like doing a different pattern than me, then you're still going to tie it off with 2 black. Even if your pattern isn't like saying that you want to, like it wants to do. Maybe if it, like the pattern you're doing says like all your bands are gold, you're still going to tie it off black because it'll just help conceal it a bit better. So then you're going to want to make sure that you pull one of the bands onto each side of the neck and the tail so that there's one on each side. That just makes it to where you can easily see the bands. And you also want to pull out the double looped band that's on the jaw. So this is what your belly should look like, or something like it. Now we're going to attach it. So let's get into that. So for this part, you're just going to need a cotton ball, your hook. You don't need bands for this part because all you're going to need is your dragon, your hook, a cotton ball if you want to stuff it with a cotton ball, or you can use old rubber bands. I like to use cotton balls, and your belly. So now we're going to take Bumblebee. I'm going to spread out her limbs so that's a bit easier to see where the spot is where we're going to be attaching it. So let's get started. So you're going to take your belly, and this is the outside. So the inside is going to be where you can see the sewing bands. So this is the outside, this is the inside. So this side you want to face up. and you'll see why in a minute. So we're going to take our hook and the loops under the eye, or the second black up from the first gold, you're going to stick your hook through the bottom chain like that. You're going to take your belly and you're going to pull the double looped band through like that. Then you're going to go through the set with the horn, and you're going to go through again. You're going to take your next band, which should be a black if you did the pattern the way I did, and then you're just going to pull the double looped bands over top of it. So you should have just that band left. Then we're going to go through the gold set like that, the way we've been doing it. Then you're going to take your gold band, if you did it the way I did, and you're going to pull the black band over top. And that's just what you're going to be doing through the whole thing. You're just going to be taking a black, or putting your hook through the chain, and then pulling everything over onto that band. And you're just going to do that all the way down through the whole thing. So you should start to see kind of a chain forming. It is a little bit harder to see because Bumblebee is colors, but as you can see, there's a little chain forming right there. So that's what you want, and we're just going to keep going until we run out of sewing bands. And this is why I call it sewing up the dragon, because it kind of looks like you're sewing it. And you're just going to keep going until you reach the end. And yeah, you're just gonna keep going. And so the belly is now starting to become attached to the dragon by that chain that you've been making, which is exactly what we want. And if you accidentally skip one or a couple bands throughout your first dragon, that's perfectly fine. I mean, your first ones are basically made to have mistakes because they're your first ones. So now that we've gotten to our last set, which is just, for me it's gold, and now all we have left are these slip knotted bands, the two slip knotted bands. So now we're going to go through the next set. We're going to take one of the holding bands, we're going through, but instead of going through the next set, we're going to wrap it around the tail. So you're just going to pull the tail through that loop. So then it's basically tied onto the tail now, and it doesn't come undone. That's exactly what you want. So now that the first side, which is always the easiest side, is attached, now we're going to do the opposite side. So this side is a little bit harder, and you'll see why in a minute. So you're going to take your hook, and you're going to go through, again, the second set from the gold, and you're going to pull the double loop band, just like you did before, through. But now, when you go through the horn set, you want to make sure that the next band is in front of your hook. And you might not get why that would make a big difference, but you don't want the band to be behind your hook, because then you'll end up sewing your hook into your dragon. And that doesn't really sound very ideal. So you're going to want to position your hook to where it's horizontal to the belly. And you're going to take your next band, for me it's black, and you're going to bring it in front of your hook and wrap it around your hook. And then you're going to pull through like that. Then you're going to take the next one, you're going to pull it in front, wrap it around, and then pull it through. And you're just going to keep doing that. And you want to make sure each time that it's in front of your hook. And if you're holding your hook horizontal to the belly, it'll just automatically be in front of your hook. So you can just grab it with your hook if you want. But you definitely want to make sure that it's not behind your hook like this when you grab it, because if you do, your hook will be ended up sewed up into the dragon. So you want to always make sure that the rubber band is in front of your hook. There is a way you can do it from behind, but it's so much more complicated. And I actually was doing that for a while before I was recording videos, and it was a pain in the butt. I finally found out you can do it this way, and I've done it this way ever since. It's been so much easier. So now I'm about at the front foot, or front leg. I'm going to take my cotton ball, I'm going to stretch it out a bit, like kind of compress it a little bit, and I'm going to stick it in the belly. And you can go for a bit longer if you want before you stuff her, but I usually try to do it a little bit further from here, actually, so that way I don't forget. So I'm gonna do maybe 2 more sets, and then I'll stick the stuffing in. What will probably happen is you'll get a little bit of fluff in the sewing. That's okay. I mean, it's not the end of the world. You can just pull it off, or you can shove it in if you want, if you can do that. But I'm just gonna kind of shove that in there like that. And now I'm going to keep going. And if you accidentally drop your band, if it comes off your hook like that, if you can, try to save it, or one of the sets before that's pretty close to it. But if you have to redo the side, it's not the end of the world. I mean, honestly though, this is probably my favorite part of doing the dragon. Mainly because I think it's just a lot less pressure. If you mess something up, you can really just undo it and easily redo it. But yeah, this is probably my favorite part of the dragon. The hardest part of doing this is probably this side with the cotton ball. This cotton ball keeps sticking to my fingers. But yeah, you're just gonna keep going through the loops. If you accidentally go through and you skip a loop, that's fine. You can either undo it or you can keep going. It does not really matter. I mean, if you just skip one, it's not really the end of the world. But if you're like being really bugged by it, you can just undo it a little bit and then redo it. And now we're starting to get to the end of the tail. So once you get to the very end, you can just keep going until you get to the holding band at the end. And you're just gonna do the same thing. You're gonna go through the set. You're still gonna do it the same way. You're gonna bring it in front of the hook, and then you're going to pull it. And I usually bend the tail to more easily go through the band, but you're just gonna wrap it around the tail. And then I'm just gonna quickly fix her legs, and there's Bumblebee. If you like this video and you want to see more like it later on, don't forget to like and subscribe.